Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. The room code is HDLZ. Your room code is HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. The room code is HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. The room code is HDLZ. Your room code is HDLZ. The room code is HDLZ.
for the crown.
Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ. Read the room code. My pleasure. HDLZ.
Experimentatum.
Not long ago, on a night both grim and gruesome, there was a gathering of the world's most ingenious detectives, who, as it happens, were also the world's most devious murderers. They had devised a unique competition where they earned points for solving crimes and points for committing them. Each detective was equipped with 2 murder weapons. Look at the prompt on your device to see the first one you'll draw. But be careful. As a murderer, you also have a calling card, a letter from your own name that you must include in your drawings. Do your best to hide the letter as part of the image, like so. If your calling card is too obvious, your fellow detectives may spot it and trace the weapon back to you. Draw 2 weapons and hide your calling card now. By the way, if you've played before, you can turn off tutorials in the settings menu. I promise not to take it personally. your time's half gone, you should be starting your second drawing.
Yes!
Finish up before time runs out. Each detective had brought a loyal accomplice disguised as a party guest. Use your device to give your guest a name. Any clever moniker will do, but don't leave any clues to your own identity.
See to it.
Perfect, and not a moment too soon.
Everyone, your attention please. Please welcome our honorees for the evening, the world's greatest detectives.
He wouldn't be so thrilled if he knew you like I do.
I'm your host, Lord Tippett. But don't be intimidated. We lords are just like everyone else. Oh, you brought gifts. You can set them down anywhere.
Looks like one of your drawings is out in the open just as well. These gifts represent every type of weapon you'll see this evening, and no detective draws the same weapon twice.
Oh, and we mustn't forget to welcome your esteemed guests. Wonderful. Now, let's just... What the devil? Who turned out the lights? Stay put, everyone. At least with you all around, we can be sure there won't be any foul play.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Time to attack. Choose a guest to murder on your device. Then guess which detective brought them to the ball. Use your knowledge of what your fellow detectives may have written, or simply take a stab in the dark.
Oh, I must have fixed it. Good gracious! 4 of our guests have been murdered.
Each murder earns the perpetrator a secret point. And the longer you get away with it, the more you can earn.
Well, at least the world's greatest detectives happen to be here. What a stroke of luck. To the evidence board. Aha, we've found the murder weapons. Let's start by focusing on just 2 of these dastardly implements. By examining the bodies, we can tell how many dreadful attempts were made on each guest's life.
And if you brought one of these guests, each of those attempts earns you points.
This is strange. If I didn't know better, I'd say these weapons are the same as some of the gifts you all brought.
What a coincidence.
Unfortunately, we really only have time to solve one of these cases.
That means the other murderer will get away, for now.
Examine the evidence and talk through your theories. Choose the case you have the best chance of solving.
Perhaps.
Aha!
Interesting. Fascinating.
Make haste. Aha! Interesting. Come on!
Come now.
Let's continue.
Now!
I guess even famous detectives don't always agree. I'll break the tie. You there. Since you brought this guest, I'm letting you borrow my lucky magnifying glass. Use your device to move it over the evidence for a closer look. Now, everyone hurry and vote for who murdered this guest.
I see.
My word. We're waiting.
On with it.
All right.
Don't be afraid to collaborate with your fellow detectives. There's no I in investigation.
Come now.
You're accusing one of your colleagues? Fess up, detective. Are you innocent or guilty of this crime?
Probably false.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Still, if any of you did vote for the actual guilty party, I'll see to it you're rewarded with points at the end of the night.
And as for our escaped murderer, keep lying low and there will be even more points in your future.
There's one pair of murders left to examine. I would love it if you got it right this time. How ghastly!
Ghastly and profitable.
All right, thinking caps on.
And if you're a murderer, deflect suspicion onto the other case. Your life depends on it, or at least your sterling reputation.
What's this?
At once!
Yes.
Since you brought this guest, you get control of the magnifying glass. Don't break it. It's technically my dad's. Now all we have to do is actually solve the case.
Well, we can eliminate 2 suspects. Their drawings for this weapon are right in front of us.
What's this?
Fascinating.
Make haste. All right.
Well then.
Oh.
If the room is voting to...
A hung jury? We can't convict anyone without a majority vote. Get it together and vote next time. My party depends on it. As for the murders we didn't get to, I promise we'll get to it later. Now why don't we Oh, bother.
It looks like we're running low on weapons. And guests, draw 2 more weapons using the prompts on your device. You'll be hiding the same letter, but it may look a bit different than before.
Fine.
It's done.
If you're still on your first weapon, it's about time to move on to your second.
Fundamental.
Now enter
No
a name
fast
for your
forwarding
new accomplice.
voting for
Remember,
stream
an
lag.
accomplice that no one tries to murder doesn't do you any good. Give them a name that really pops.
Indeed.
Yes. As you were.
Masterfully done.
Watch this. Why, we have some new arrivals. Please join me in welcoming our new guests. There's still time for me to get a smooch before midnight.
Select another guest and try to deduce who brought them. If you're right, the dark deed will be done.
We need light! Quickly! Bennington, set the curtains on fire! Don't lose your heads. Unless they're already gone, then my apologies. Now, who'd like to play a game of Rolly Fingers? Holy man! Another pile of bodies? Autopsy table for two? It's good to laugh. I don't care for either, but it's up to you, I suppose.
Oh, yes.
Let's extrapolate.
All right.
Aha! Now! Come
Interesting.
on!
The sound you hear is the telltale beating of a guilty heart. Also me mixing a very dry martini. By the way, you can use the
What's
hurry
this?
up button to speed up the timer if your
At
fellow
once.
detectives are dragging their feet.
I see.
Come on!
Yes, yes.
What do you have to say for yourself? I would take you to the authorities, but that would throw off my seating chart. So, sit there and keep the conversation lively. Great work solving that case. I'm keeping track of who votes for the guilty party, and awarding each of you points when you're right, even when the rest of the group gets it wrong. There's one last pair of murders to investigate. These were gifts. No wonder this party is dying.
Perhaps.
Oh.
There.
Ahem.
My word. Well then. Oh, yes.
Who wielded this weapon so willfully?
All right.
Interesting. Come on, make haste.
Did I mention that your calling cards aren't necessarily unique? It's possible for two murderers to have the same letter, in case...
Let's have it.
Why not?
I'm calling the authorities. Just as soon as my phone dialing hand isn't so tired. In the meantime, you might as well stay. You know, in France, they call murders nuit du oops. Now, on to the... blast.
Once more with feeling.
I know it's scary, but if you're near the pate, will you fetch me a plate? Let's all just take a moment and... Hot buttered crab! My pants! You really couldn't have saved the murders for the after party. Whoever did this is uninvited from my future wedding.
What's this?
I see.
Come on. At once.
I don't know much about detecting, but I think the murderer did it.
Aha!
Oh. Ahem.
Interesting.
Aha.
Don't forget you can use the magnifying glass to highlight what you found for your fellow detectives. Out with it!
Malacool.
This is why we should never perform investigations after cocktails. Now, don't let... Midnight? We've still got a ton of unsolved murders, and I am not going back to prison. Look, just take a guess at all of the remaining cases. I'll give you points if you're right, even if the group votes the other way.
And I'll give murderers extra points for every detective they fool into voting for someone else.
Time is running out. Please, hurry.
There.
I've got it. Very clever. Let's move on.
What's this?
Ow.
I see.
It's dirty work.
I knew it. I didn't. Next.
Interesting. Interesting. Come on.
Perhaps.
Now
Make
we're having
haste.
fun.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes, very murdery.
Aha.
My word. I've got it. Well, then.
Brilliant work.
Let's extract him.
Perhaps.
I'm impressed.
Oh, yes.
I see.
Come on.
Yes!
Who would have thought? Onward?
All right.
My word.
Interesting. Come on.
It was only logical.
I forgot about that one.
Interesting.
There. We're waiting.
Oh, let's extrapolate.
I've never felt better.
Excellent work, detectives. On average, anyway. As promised, I've been keeping track of who the best detective is. Let's see who gets the prize.
But there's also the matter of who the best murderer is. And what about the most popular accomplices? And our overall winner is...
Congratulations! And thus, our evening ends. Not with a bang, but with me slamming the door in your face!
What you told me was never really real. 'Cause I found your weapon. you